You ever been on a team that just clicks, where ideas are flowing, everyone's energized? And have you ever been on a team that felt more like trying to run through quicksand? Well, today we're going to break down the real science backed secret to what makes some teams absolutely crush it while others just struggle. Okay, so let's just get right into it. What is that magic ingredient? Is it just hiring the smartest people, having the biggest budget, the most charismatic leader? I mean, we're often told it's one of those things, right? But it turns out the research points to something way deeper, something a lot more human. The real answer is less about individual genius and way more about the environment, the vibe that the team creates together. So, if the secret isn't just about having a team of all-stars, where do we even begin? Let's start with the payoff. Let's look at why building an inclusive team, that kind of environment we're talking about, actually delivers some pretty incredible results. Think of this as a powerful domino effect. It all kicks off with making better decisions because you're actually hearing from everyone, not just the loudest person in the room. That directly leads to spotting risks and problems way earlier because people feel safe enough to raise a hand and say, hey, wait a minute. And when that happens, what do you think goes up? Collaboration, trust, and engagement all skyrocket. And that is what fuels the two big things every team wants: genuine innovation and the resilience to bounce back from pretty much anything. So to really get how to build these kinds of teams, we need to geek out for just a minute and look at what's happening inside our own heads. So let's talk about the brain science of teamwork. Okay, so on the most basic level, your brain is a survival machine. In any social situation like a team meeting, it's constantly scanning. Is this place safe for me? If I share this idea, am I going to get praised or am I going to get shot down? And if it perceives any kind of threat, like the fear of being embarrassed or dismissed, it can literally hit the brakes on the creative, smart, problem-solving parts of your brain. Next up, we've got implicit biases. Think of these as your brain's automatic shortcuts, things it's learned over your entire life. Now, this isn't about being a good or bad person. Let's be super clear on that. We all have them, but these unconscious patterns can definitely influence who we naturally pay attention to, whose ideas we think are more credible, and who we instinctively trust on the team, all without us even realizing it. And this leads right into our natural human tendency to form what are called in-groups. We are just wired to feel safer and more comfortable with people we see as being like us. The problem is, this can unintentionally create outgroups, leaving some team members feeling like they're on the outside looking in, which makes it that much harder for them to contribute their best work. So, we've got these three things going on in our brains: that automatic threat response, those hidden biases, and our instinct to form in-groups. The one concept that is powerful enough to counteract all of them, well, that turns out to be the real secret to high-performing teams. We've talked about the brain's threat responses and all these biases. The one thing that cuts through all of it is something called psychological safety. But what does that term actually mean? Like, what does it look like in practice?
This is it. This is the whole shebang. Psychological safety is that shared belief that it's safe to take risks with each other. It's a climate where you can throw out a wild idea, admit you don't know something, or even challenge the status quo without being terrified that you'll be shut down or punished for it. When a team has this, that threat response just melts away, and everyone can finally bring their full creative brain to the table.
Okay, so that's the what and the why, and it all sounds great, but the big question is, how do you actually do it? So for our final section, let's get super practical and look at how to put this into action. Creating this environment isn't about some grand, sweeping gesture. Nope. It's built through small, consistent actions and communication habits. We're going to walk through 5 simple but incredibly powerful techniques you can start using in your very next meeting. All right, let's break these down. First up, speak to arrive. This is so simple. The act of getting everyone to say something, anything at all, at the start of a meeting makes it psychologically way easier for them to contribute a bigger idea later on. Second, swap out but with yes and. When you say yes but, you're basically killing an idea. When you say yes and, you're forced to build on it, which keeps creativity alive. Third, conversational turn-taking. This just means being intentional about who speaks. If you notice someone hasn't contributed, just ask them what they think. It stops a few people from dominating the whole discussion. Fourth is support before challenge. Before you critique an idea, first find something in it you can genuinely support. When you acknowledge the value in what they said, they become so much more open to your feedback. And finally, look for the need behind the behavior. If someone seems defensive, instead of reacting, get curious. Ask yourself, what do they need right now? Maybe it's to feel heard or respected. Addressing that underlying need is way more effective. So, here's a final thought to take with you. Think about your next team meeting. Will you feel safe enough to ask that question you're worried might sound dumb, or to challenge an idea from someone more senior? Because creating the safety for that one dumb question, well, that is exactly where the most brilliant breakthroughs are born.